Coming to you all the way from Norfolk, Virginia, Go On Podcasts presents The Sexperts.
Beep, 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 beep. Turn on your computer, dial up the web, download some information into your head. It's Dr. John and Delilah, they're having a great time. Data to do, it's simply true, we're the Sexperts.
And we're recording, and intro music, and hi there. Welcome to The Sexperts. I'm your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, SCPM. That's Senior Certified Professional Midwife.
I am Delilah. Hey there. Saw man.
Saw man? I've heard of a straw man argument, but that's not anything to do with that, is it?
Nah, man, I'm just sawing shit. I work for a carpenter now, and I just saw for him all day long.
My carpenter is a Jewish carpenter named Jesus Christ.
My carpenter is a guy named Lars who picks me up in the morning. We grab some coffees at 7-Eleven, and then he just hands me a stack of wood, and I saw it to pieces all day long.
And there's money in this, or?
Not much, bro. But listen, between that and my STEMI, I'm making ends meet.
Okay, there's all kinds of slang going on here. You're hanging with a different crowd, Delilah, but that's okay. We are the Sexperts. We are your Sexperts.
You want to get in on our lottery pool?
What is that? What does that mean? Is it?
We're all putting in $5 buying lottery tickets, and if we win, we all split it.
Is that it? No.
It increases your chances, man. I'm just saying.
Nah, I'll pass. Wow, that is... I can't believe you're buying lottery pools. This is a whole different Delilah. But anyways, we're the Sexperts.
We got a fantasy football league if you want to get in.
We're your Sexperts. We've been your Sexperts for what seems like forever. We've known you, the audience, for a long time. You've known us. You know the ins and outs.
I was trying the other day to remember a time before I was a Sexpert, and I really struggled to remember such a time. It's like, this is my life. It's always been my life.
Yeah. Like the great... not Huey Lewis, not Van Halen. Who's the other one? John Bon Jovi said, "It's my life. I'm a sexpert forever."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And ironically, he wasn't a sexpert. He was just singing about a character who was.
Yeah. He wrote that song about us. All right. We're talking way too much. We're just two chatty little Cathys. Chattying away like a Cathy. But let's get to our topic of the day. And by the way, I'm still in my recording bunker. Pandemic is still, spring break out there. Not spring break in here. Not in my pants. Not in my house. I'm in my recording bunker. And where'd you say you were, Delilah?
I am on the corner of the main drag here in Narberth, Pennsylvania, where I'm about to get picked up and taken to today's work site. Okay.
All right. Well, we coming to you live from a different location, a different topic of the week, and topic of the day, and today's topic. And I pray to God I can get this because it's so fascinating because it's all about the COVID vaccines, the Pfizer, the Moderna, the J&J, the Johnson & Johnson, the AstraZeneca, all these vaccines, but they have different levels of effectiveness depending on if you are a woman or a man. So today's topic of the day is Vagine Efficacy, Vaccine Edickacy. Edickacy. Vagine Efficacy, Vaccine Edickacy. Okay, anyways, that's our topic. We're going to talk about dicks and balls and vagines.
Google that 3 times fast.
Okay. But let's get to our guests. We're chatting it up. Hi there. Welcome.
Oh, hello, Dr. John Delilah. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yes. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience out there?
Of course. I'm Dr. Shelley Ripley. I'm coming to you from the Denver Aquarium, where I operate as a fish therapist.
And you said Dr. Ripley?
Ripley.
Dr. Ripley, I'm sorry. Yeah, for some reason when I heard Whipley, I thought you like whip the fish and stuff, but you mostly just talk to fish, right?
No, I believe in fish talk therapy.
Well, that's talking to fish, right? Or is that different?
It's therapeutically talking to fish.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, you describe. What do you do? What do you do, Dr. Ripley?
Well, I mean, it's very complex. I mean, sometimes I work at the Denver Aquarium. And that's where my mainstay is. But I also work with select celebrity clients. So I actually worked with David Duchovny's koi fish.
David Duchovny has a koi? I'm not familiar.
Yes, he has a very large koi pond out in his LA suburb.
His friends call him Decoivany.
That is true. David Duchovny.
Man, we're full of tongue twisters today on the experts. Vagine.
It wasn't funny until Doctor said it. Till Denver Doctor said it.
Denver Doctor.
I had a stroke the first time she said her last name, so
yeah.
I was clarifying.
Okay. Wow. So, now there's, I know because I'm also a doctor, by the way, and
ooh, look at all the doctors outnumbering the blue collar Saul people.
Yeah.
I guess you guys think you're better than me, huh?
We
Because you work in the ivory tower. I'm on the streets sawing shit so people have a place to live.
Listen, I know that Dr. John and I could not sell on the marketplace the way you could. You just connect with the people.
Yeah.
It's true. The other day I was sawing wood and it was going straight off my pile into the hands of Jimmy Carter. He was making a house with it.
Jimmy Carter, the ex-president?
Yes, 96-year-old Habitat for Humanity lead engineer Jimmy fucking Carter.
How else did he habitat all those humanities, Dr. John?
I had to cut the wood up really small for him because he couldn't carry the big pieces.
Does he live in Narwhal as well?
Narberth. Narberth. It's a town outside of Philly.
Oh, speaking of narwhals, do you work with narwhals, Dr. Ripley?
Yes, I have. I actually did my residency at Narwhal Trauma Relief Center.
Narwhal trauma relief? How are these narwhals being traumatized?
They're made fun of for their horns. And yeah.
You know what I'm made fun of for?
What?
My lack of a college education and the lack of abbreviation after my name of MD or PhD or any of that bullshit.
Well, Delilah, it's not
and the
too
fact
late.
that I lose the lottery every other week.
It is not too late, Delilah. You can go into debt just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I can't do the math.
Delilah,
too much math.
Just so we can appease you and get back to Dr. Ripley, what kind of saw do you like to use? I don't know.
I'm not particular.
See, I was trying to start a conversation, like, talk saws.
I was gonna elaborate.
Oh,
if I'm feeling like back to basics, just a handsaw. if I got a lot of wood to get through, a power saw, table saw, a sawtooth mill, mill saw.
You'll use the whole mill just for one project?
Depends on the project. I once helped build a skyscraper, and I had to use the whole mill for that.
Now, question: what are your thoughts on Texas chainsaws?
Well, Texas chainsaws don't massacre people. People massacre people.
Oh.
And I'm tired of Texas chainsaws being labeled as tools of mass violence just because of one movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, people. Speaking of people, which is made up of men and women and, others, let's talk about Vagine Efficacy and vaccine.
One sec.
Edickacy.
I hear some sea mammals mate for life. Do you ever have to get into like marriage counseling with these things?
Ooh,
well,
good question.
Like every long-term partnership, of course.
Do they actually have wedding ceremonies? Because I'd like to go to one.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, it doesn't count if there's not a ceremony. Do you really want our aquatic life to live in sin?
Oh.
No. Fun fact, when Jesus was walking on water, he was looking down and judging the sinful fish down there.
Because he knew. He knew they were just leaving their eggs. And then those poor male fish were just populating the eggs left on the street. You don't know who left those eggs. You need to know what eggs you're populating.
That can be traumatic in and of itself.
Didn't he also do that magic trick where he had like the endless breadsticks and fish bowl sort of thing?
Yeah, he was. He invented Olive Garden.
And
What? Have you invented anything, Dr. Ripley?
You think if it wasn't invented in the Mediterranean, they would call it something besides Olive Garden?
Well,
Think about it. Wake up, people. Wake up, sheeple.
conveniently enough, while we're talking about Jesus, I actually did invent something.
Yes, please.
Everyone talks about water into wine.
Yeah, we know
But
that.
I learned how to turn wine into water. It's my own patent invention. I take a box wine, I put it through my machine, and it becomes salt water that I can raise a fish in, such as a goldfish or a betta fish or another betta fish in a separate container. Because if you put two betta fish in the same container, they will kill each other.
Oh, where's my pen? I gotta write that one down.
Is that more economically sensible than just putting salt in water?
Ooh.
Well, if you want to have both buys, yes.
I'm no doctor. I'm just a man who works with his hands.
Okay.
All right. Out in the bitter cold.
All right.
So that people have a warm place to live.
Okay.
That's
All right.
Me.
Well, to answer your question, if you use a red box wine, it's actually better for the fish's heart.
Oh.
No, that makes sense. And a wholehearted fish is probably a fish that can heal from trauma.
Exactly.
All
We
right.
have to take care of our physical body before we take care of our mental body. And the same thing is for fish.
The body keeps the score. That's what I always say.
Gills before thrills.
Okay.
Scales tell the tales.
Exactly.
Oh, fins for my friends. All right.
Yeah. You gotta be aquatic before psychotic.
You gotta be seen to be through this breen. The whale.
Life as a porpoise is a life with a purpose.
You gotta be this tall to ride the narwhal.
Through our fins, we find friends.
If you got a problem, I'll solve it. Check out my fish as my dolphin revolves into. What the fuck? I almost
That's
had
brilliant.
it. I almost had it. Dolphin and resolvin. Problems resolvin includes the dolphin. Okay, we're off track. Let's get back to our topic of the day. Rhyming's not my specialty. Okay.
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my clams.
No, Delilah, no.
Make it last forever. Fish tales never end.
Boom.
Let me, let's see. I was going to say, let's get to our topic of the day, but I can't remember what the topic is. So let's just go to, back to you. What is an average day like for a fish therapist? Like, what do you wake up and you probably, talk to, what do you do?
That's a really common question.
Yeah.
So, often days I begin by making a cup of chamomile tea, and then I pour it into the tank, the large every tank, to calm the fish.
Oh, good.
So that's how we start off, and then I have the fish practice journal work. So a lot of times I'll end up discussing with it one-on-one.
Good.
Talk about how we're feeling.
Yeah.
What we're feeling.
And with the pandemic I'm assuming you're meeting with the fish over Zoom. Has
Of
that
course.
been difficult?
We don't know how corona is transmitted. I have to meet with the fish over Zoom. It has been difficult. Some people like having a physical presence.
Well, I imagine you'd be like, you're on mute. Oh, actually, no, you're underwater.
Well, that's why I know how to read bubbles.
Oh,
Bubble, it's like Morse code. The bubble appears from the mouth.
When is our culture going to get sensitive to the communication needs of aquatic life and not just have an American Sign Language interpreter when politicians and emergency officials are speaking, but have a bubble interpreter, someone who's blowing bubbles so that our aquatic friends can see where the hurricane's headed?
Whoa.
That is a great question.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just a simple saw man,
You are blowing
but
my
it
mind.
seems like somebody should address these issues.
But you know what? We've mentioned Saw Man a few times who made a big difference.
Who?
Jesus, he was a carpenter.
Oh, because I didn't know if they had invented saws back then or not. I don't know. Had they like?
He was actually the inspiration because when he first started doing carpentry, he was karate chopping all the wood with his hands, and it was okay because he could heal himself.
No such thing.
But eventually, people were like, "You shouldn't be spending all this time healing yourself. You need to heal others." And so they invented the first handsaw to save Jesus's hands for healing others.
Kind of like Dr. Ripley.
Yeah, no, his hands were cut up from that carpenter's cup, just holding it because there was no sandpaper to sand down the edges.
And these are all palm trees, and like they call them palm trees because if you hit them square with your hand, it'll rip the shit out of your palms.
It will.
Wow, the wisdom of a simple sawman. Okay. I want to ask you, Dr. Ripley, what are some of the biggest challenges in your line of work? You know, you hear about, very, very tough, dangerous jobs like, postal workers, delivery people, those sorts of jobs, but like sexperts, yeah, top 20 dangerous jobs in America. But what are some of your challenges, either life, death, or anywhere in between?
Oh, of course. I mean, I don't think you've ever really looked death in the face until you counseled a shark couple through divorce.
No.
Yes.
You work with sharks?
I did.
Is that kind of like racial of me to say, or?
No, it's accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, they are sharks. That's just not all they are.
Okay.
They're also fish with feelings.
Oh.
And I had these two great whites that were going through a divorce. And there were just some basic incompatibility and communication issues. And as much as we worked on ourselves and had everyone, we worked on communication exercise, just didn't work. And they were at each other's.
Yeah. No. Well, as soon as you said two great whites, it reminded me of Delilah and his ex-wife getting a divorce.
Oh.
Yeah, she left me for a oil industry executive. She wanted to live the comfy life. She didn't want the house that I had made by hand for us and our family, one sawed piece of board at a time. She said, "It looks weird. It's all these boards."
Wow.
She says Trevor has a house that's been made by other people. And it's like one solid sheetrock.
Yeah.
Like, ooh la la.
She famously said, "I came, I sawed, I want a divorce."
You're just fracking your heart.
If you look at my dating profile right now on onlysawmen.com, it has that quote attributed to my ex-wife. I came, and like came's all caps. I sawed, and I got a divorce, and I look at that as a selling point.
Oh my God! Okay, listen. Oh my God! We're off track. We need to get to Vagine Efficacy and Vaccine Edickacy. But oh my God, is there? I see something in your tank. There's. What's going on there? That looks like something you might need to deal with. What's going on in there in that tank?
Oh no.
Is that a hammerhead shark?
It is, and a clownfish.
How they
can't mate?
They can't mate.
Oh, but they are trying, my friend. They are trying, sexperts.
Oh no. Okay, well, this is where sexperts meets the fish therapist. I guess that's all the time we have, but check out, we'll probably have a bonus episode where we're meshing the two professions here. Actually, we'll get in saws as well, and then we can get a threesome going on here.
The ins and outs of aquatic sex.
Yeah, with saws. Okay, well, that's it for the sexperts. We have to go take care of an aquatic emergency with our friend Dr. Ripley. But Dr. Ripley, is there anything you want to put out into the world there? Any plugs, any promotions or anything?
I would like to let y'all know to fish and buy fish locally from your local fish breeder. You can find them on the internet.
I'm sure your patients would appreciate you encouraging us to eat fish.
Well, it's the circle of life. I say pescatarian, or nothing.
Okay,
enough.
that's it. Pescatarian, nothing. That's it for the Sexperts. Again, we have an emergency on our hands here. Ooh, that clownfish is getting frisky. We're the Sexperts. I'm your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, SCPM.
And I'm Delilah. Hey there, and before you eat a fish, you better saw its head off.
See you sex time.
Oh, this is Shelley Ripley.
Don't have to do it simply true. We're the Sexperts.
Thanks so much for listening to the Sexperts podcast that go on
We just
podcast
killed
production.
Evan.
If you like what you heard and you want to keep this little show going, then please consider donating at paypal.me/sexpertspodcast or donate $1 a month at patreon.com/sexpertspodcast.